Hey everyone, welcome back. This is episode 8 of Wolf's Magitech Modpack. You may have noticed that my house looks a little bit different. I am missing a whole bunch of these chests. Basically, what I did was between one door, this episode and the previous one, I did a whole bunch of mining. I did a whole bunch of infrastructure setup. If you watch my fourth vlog that's in my vlog playlist, basically what ended up happening is, short story, I was taking a long time to edit the videos because of the way that I have to record, due to the fact that my microphone sucks. So, because of that, it was like I get to play for 1 hour and then I have 2 hours of editing, which is incredibly frustrating. So I stopped recording for a little while and basically just did a whole bunch of infrastructure. I got a whole bunch of resources, made a whole bunch of machines, got them all set up, made a nice building for them. I set up a very basic AE system with a very small amount of storage, just some really simple storage disks. I set up a simple import system so that when I was out mining, I could throw stuff into the ender pouch, which went into this chest, which then went into my AE system. I started working on the automatic, the AE assembler, but then I was like, well, I don't want to finish that right now, and I want to do that on camera, and I didn't have enough Certus quartz anyway, so I'll do that eventually at some point. I did set up some power over here. I upgraded, and I made this into a redstone energy cell. I did go to the nether, and I set up a tank out there with a, what is it, chunk loader. Alright, so I've got 2 ender tanks feeding my stuff constant amount of lava. I don't know if I upgraded the smeltery between this episode. I don't know if it was still a small one, but anyhow, the smeltery looks good now. I did upgrade the Ars Magica pillars a little bit, the Nexi. I upgraded this to gold blocks because I went down back into my dungeon and I found a lot more awesome stuff down there, including actual gold blocks in rooms. So I just snagged all the gold blocks and upgraded this. So now that recharges during the day. This one is a neutral one, so I have to feed it essence to the little patch here, which is fine. And then this one is made of moonstone, because I had a ton of meteors fall, so another one fell over there. And this one charges at night. So now I have a good source of light essence for all of my spell crafting. Again, these are the emerald blocks that I stole in one of the other episodes from a dungeon that I found. Made a nice altar. Yeah, infusion altar. I went to town. I made myself a cleaver, and I put the beheading on it. The cleaver already comes at 20% chance. If you put beheading on it with the modifying using Tinker's Construct, you get another 10%. So that's a 30% chance, and I just went to town in the Twilight Forest because I found one of those Sacred Hill things, which has tons and tons of ores, but also tons and tons of monsters. So even though the swing's kind of slow, it has a nice chance to behead monsters and stuff. So there were tons of zombies, tons of skeletons, went to town beheading them. Because there were lots of ores down there, I was able to build all of this awesome stuff, and I was able to make a ton of crystals, and I got a boatload of zombie flesh, so I made a whole ton of candles. Just made them all sorts of different fun colors. Down here, I made a little infusion room. I found out through some research that anything placed above the altar 8 blocks and below the altar within 10 blocks counts towards the symmetry of the altar, which basically helps to stabilize it when you're doing infusions. So I just went to town putting candles down here, and I left this space underneath these jars empty so that my cute little decanting golem here, hey buddy, could grab all the stuff out of these and throw them into the jars that I need them in over here. I don't have my goggles on, but I have a... Oh no, that's Ventus. I started doing this because there was a bunch of stuff, oh wrong bag, from Thaumcraft, oh my book's not in there, that I wanted to create, but some of the stuff I wanted to create had an instability listed as dangerous, which I looked up the scale. 0 to 1, or 0 to 3 I think is minor, 3 to 6 is moderate, 6 plus is not dangerous. There's another level in between. That's moderate. Oh shit, I didn't want to do that. Oh well, I have the one to cross research now. It's something else. But anyhow, eventually it comes to Thaumic Tinker and stuff comes to the level of dangerous. One of the things I wanted to make was this kinetic tractor. And I needed a whole bunch of stuff, and some of the other stuff I wanted to make, like this wand of dislocation, very high. That's what it was. It was minor, moderate, very high, dangerous. Dangerous is 10 plus, and the problem is that the more uneven this is. So if this object wasn't across from this object on the altar, or if this one wasn't across from that one on the altar, the more risk that this will be a bad infusion, and shit will just go down. That one's really easy to make. Telekinesis one. See, this one is one that would be problematic. This has nothing across from this one, and this is off. These two have nothing across from these two. So even though it says moderate, if I didn't have all that stuff around my infusion altar right now, it would actually have a much higher chance of going boom on me, and not so much, well, potentially going boom, yeah, actually, but mostly like destroying some of the items on these altars, or you know, causing flux or causing what is the other type of flux? If there's enough flux glue, we'll actually get tainted slimes, which is not good. So yeah, didn't want to risk it, so I made a whole bunch of this stuff. I think I've got enough here to do a dangerous infusion. I'm not going to risk it quite yet. I wanted to decapitate some mobs, get some more skulls, get some more crystals. Tried to make this look nice, you know, but it's always going to be kind of like just throw shit in there and hope that it doesn't explode when you're crafting something. So yeah, I moved one of the chests over here. I did move the magical chest over here. I didn't want all this stuff in my AE system. One, because I did not have a lot of room. Two, because I needed it over here, and I didn't have cabling, ME cabling, to get the like a crafting table over here. What is it? Monitor, the AE monitor. I didn't have enough cable to get it over here, so I'm not even going to bother to make the monitor yet. Yeah, I was doing quite a bit of infusing. I did quite a bit of research. I put some crystals here, which is slowly regenerating all of the research points in here, so I have lots of research points to play with. I did make myself an Ars Magica spell. I made a healing spell, which is nice. Doesn't do a whole lot, but it's got me to level 13, which is cool. I'm hoping to make a magic damage spell really soon. I don't know if I want to wait or not. Down here, I have an auto anvil, I have an auto disenchanter, I've got the typesetting table. I made a couple copies of some really nice enchants that I had. Basically, this was all set up infrastructure-wise and stuff like that. So yeah, it was probably a good thing that I ended up doing it off camera. This is going to be the first mob spawning room, and one of the reasons I wanted the Wand of Dislocation is to actually move a real mob spawner. The Wand of Dislocation does have the capability of doing that, so what I'm going to do is have a mob spawner there just doing its thing, spawning creatures, and then have a grinder killing the creatures that spawn, so that basically I have a net gain on the mob essence, because I'm not spending any to spawn the creatures initially. So I might even move like 2 spawners in there or something, just stack them on top of each other. Like I found an Enderman spawner in one of the dungeons that was underneath my house, so I'm gonna grab that. I think I found another skeleton one, which that wouldn't be bad. If I could get like a wither skeleton one or like a blaze one, that'd be fantastic. And I did find a blaze one in another. I found a fortress. So I might grab a blaze one and just put those 2 in the same room and then just have them killed. Because honestly, blaze rods and ender pearls are like the 2 things I need the most. The things that I love to make, like the elevators and the ender tanks and, you know, the ender chests and the bags, they all need blaze powder, blaze rods, ender pearls. So I might put those 2 together and then put up a little mob spawner. Don't freak out like at all this stuff. I still have a ton of stuff to do. I still have to automate all of this. I still have to finish that assembler. I have to make some upgrades for the drives. I've got to tear down this little farm here, figure out what veggies I actually use from it, and then even this out and replant it all and use harvesters on it. I have a lot of stuff still to do. So, I have the mob spawners to set up in the basement of this room. I do have the mana beans. I went out far and wide, and finally at like 5,000, 5,000, I found a legitimate mushroom biome. That's how far I went out to try and find these stupid things. Apparently because Biomes of Plenty is spawning about, I don't even know, it has 88 biomes, but I don't have it spawning all of them. I think I turned like a handful of them off. So it's probably spawning about like 70 to 80 separate biomes. Because of that, the magical forest biome was incredibly rare, so I actually had to do an update to the mod pack to fix that and increase the chance of the magical forest biome to spawn, because before I changed it, I literally couldn't find a single one of these biomes, and I looked for, I think, at least 2 hours every single day for 4 or 5 days to try and find this, and I couldn't find it anywhere. As soon as I changed the configuration file, bam, I got an island of magical forest. So it has a 1.8 chance to spawn now, which is a little bit higher, and I hope it brings it up enough so that it's not terribly common, but it's not so incredibly rare as it was before. Speaking of incredibly rare, I was raiding some dungeons, and I happened to come across two, I'm not even joking, there were 2 Ender Dragon eggs in a single chest in a chocolate dungeon. So I took one, and I made Rhymefang. He is my awesome sauce bone dragon, so he's really cool. I've been flying him around the map, so now Todd has an Aether Dragon, and I've got Rhymefang, my bone dragon. Also, if you know what Rhymefang is from, let me know in the comments. Yeah, you probably, if you've played the game that I'm thinking of, hopefully you'll know wherever that name is from. I also updated the mod pack to add Botania! Todd and me both really like farming and really enjoy magic. So I saw Botania and I saw a spotlight of it, and I saw Direwolf playing with it, and I was like, this mod looks awesome! So I added it to the mod pack for me and Todd. Now, because I ran around like a dumbass and generated a whole ton of chunks looking for that magical forest biome, unfortunately, there aren't a whole ton of Botania flowers around. Luckily, using bone meal, luckily, by using bone meal ground, I'll be able to get enough flowers that I'll be able to start Botania at some point. And that's going to be another one of my goals too, to actually set up an area for Botania, which I think I'm going to set up over there, right behind this one, right now. And then I'm going to set up a vegetable farm, like I said, just a little up on the hill there. I'm going to knock this tree down and replant some stuff. And yeah, so there's still a whole lot to do. I made a thermometer. I got a nice-ish one. I have a couple. I heard a zombie. I want his head. Give me your head, sir. No, no luck, no luck. I just got some flesh. That's okay. I can use it for more candles. Because, you know, not enough candles in the world. I did get a couple. I think I only actually made one wand focus. It was one of my favorites. It is the portable hole focus. I really, really like this one. I made this one because it's really helpful for when I need to get the hell out of a room that I'm stuck in. But like in the dungeons and stuff. So I made that for myself. Yeah, that's pretty much what I did between last episode and this one. Mostly, honestly, mostly infrastructure stuff. Just setting up my factory, getting the machines built, setting up my magic area, maybe making... I did like a couple infusions. I did a couple researches off camera for Thaumcraft, because the Thaumcraft researches can just be tedious and boring to watch. So I did a whole bunch of researching off camera. I did Gollemancy, got a whole bunch of stuff in Artifice. Yeah, so basically that's what's going on. Hopefully, at some point, I'm going to make a to-do list. I'm probably going to put it either in my factory or on the side of my factory so that I know, what I'm doing at any given point in time. I also did this. I started working on Apocryphia. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. But basically, it's forbidden magic. It's an add-on for Thaumcraft. Absolutely love it. But yeah, Pickaxe of Distortion, Obsidian Buster. I might get that at some point. This one is also another thing that has a chance to decapitate, so I might get that as well. Because if it has a better chance than that cleaver and it's not as slow as that cleaver, that might be better. But I did get a Witchwood Wand Core, and I did get Vintium Caps, and I actually went and made said Wand Core. Where did it go? It's around here somewhere. There we go. I'm just using this for storage. I made the wand core and I made the caps, and I tried to put the wand together, and I realized that I needed a better wand to actually make this. Yeah, so I was kind of ticked off, so I ended up having to make the Silverwood wand before I could make the Vintium wand, or the Witchwood Vintium wand. The reason why I wanted that wand is because it'll actually use my mana from Ars Magica 2 when I'm not using it to recharge the V in the wand, which unfortunately seems to be a huge problem for me right now. I know the location of the two nodes, and thanks to Rhyme Fang, I can get there rather quickly, but it's just a pain to go hunting for them. At some point, I'd like to set up, actually, I think instead of using this room as the mob spawner, I'm either going to do one of two things. I'm either going to make a room behind this, I'm going to expand it this way, or I'm going to come down here and I'm going to make this room, come on, the room that is going to charge my wands. So I'm not exactly sure. Eventually I'm going to move this ladder too. It goes all the way down to bedrock, but there's nothing down there right now because that was how I had to hatch Rhyme Fang. I made some nice little potion shelves, made some nice bookshelves, organized some stuff, you know. I did make a dig spell, but I haven't actually manufactured it yet. Yeah, so yeah. There's still a lot to do, don't worry. I'm going to make a to-do list, and then first thing next episode, I'm going to show you all the stuff on my to-do list. It may need to involve some mining. I may or may not have enough resources to do it. We'll have to find out. But yeah, that's basically what's going on. I did make another sword at one point. It's a very shitty sword. So I made myself another sword, which is not great, but not as shitty. So, I don't know. I have to experiment with what metals are good. I have an entire spreadsheet that somebody made of metallurgy metals, and, you know, their modifiers and everything like that, and their statistics when it comes to Tinker's Construct. This one's actually pretty good. 6.5 hearts, has lifesteal on it, it's got luck on it. It's not too bad. It's also thaumic, which is great, so I have... Oh, I used all the modifiers now, but I can put another one on there later. So anyway, yeah, that's basically what you missed. Yeah, next episode I'm going to be setting up that wall, giving you a little tour of it, and then honestly I'm probably gonna work on doing the mob spawning first. If I can get the Wand of Dislocation in the next episode, I'm going to do the mob spawning. If for some reason I still don't have enough of one of my aspects I need, it's not the Vintium one. It's it's aspects. It does start with a V. Oh yeah, no, it is Vintium. Basically, I have to go hunting to get some slime balls so that I can go take them back to my little golem and destroy them. That always ends up there. No, put there. There we go. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go hunting, and I'm probably gonna do that between episodes because I don't want to bore you guys hunting around for tainted biomes and stuff. So once I have enough of that, if I can get the Wand of Dislocation next episode, fantastic, I'll set up the mob farm. If I can't, then maybe I'll just go straight into working on setting up the harvester and everything, leveling that hill out and getting the harvester going. I think that would be a good idea, because I'm not hurting for food. Maybe I'll go into Botania. I don't know. I have a whole entire to-do list, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, not hurting for food, obviously, but it's good to have it. I mean, look at all the food I found in dungeons. I made this, and then the rest of this I all found in dungeons. And this heals a boatload. It's not craftable. So, I don't know what's up. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyhow, this was episode 8, basically catching up on what happened after episode 7 and why nothing got posted for a little while. But stuff will be posted now. Tinker's Construct tutorial is up. if you do want to watch that, I would highly suggest it. It's obviously basic tutorial. I didn't go into, crazy amounts of this is the best type of modifier for this particular reason. It's just a very basic tutorial, even though it's 3 little episodes long. The next tutorial I'm planning on doing is Ender IO. Maybe after Ender IO, I might do Thaumcraft. Thaumcraft is very, very complex, so I'm going to basically probably do the basics of Thaumcraft. Possibly do Ars Magica. We'll have to see. So, I may or may not be in that order, but those are the tutorials that I do have planned, so keep an eye out for them if you like tutorials. Yeah, so this has been Wolf of the Night. Obviously, feel free to like and subscribe, please. There's going to be lots more on this channel, lots more of this mod pack, and lots more of the tutorials. So, hope you enjoyed this episode, and have a good one. Hey everyone, welcome back. This is episode